Hey, how are you doing? Karate, which is Japanese martial arts, has two types of training, kata and kumite. And kata is a collection of unnatural fixed movement with so many strict rules, right? So posture and stance, like how you stand and how you can move to the next posture and where you start your movement from to attack opponents are all strictly ruled. And in kata, what you're required to learn is the rightness of logic in every single movement in order to acquire the most effective way of moving your body. So in extreme unnatural movement with so many strict rules, you need to learn how you can move your body smoothly and effectively without relying on your extra power. So being able to perform beautiful kata means that you have no wasted motion in your movement when you do kata. So the more you practice kata, the closer you can get to the essence of the movement of kata, and the more you can understand why there's so many unreasonable and strict rules in kata. So karate trainees are required to practice the same kata hundreds and thousands of times repetitively as their body completely installs every single movement of kata perfectly at subconscious level, right? And the essence of movement of kata can be reflected on kumite, which is a free sparring with high degree of freedom in the movements with no rule, in the sense that you can get explosive power out of your potential with minimum motion effectively, right? So because you train your movement in extremely limited conditions as you can perform at your full potential, when you use your technique in actual practical sparring, you can realize unwasted and economical movements that don't let opponents realize your movement in actual sparring. So judo has the same aspect. So judo has basic practice and sparring type practice, and judo trainees acquire the most effective way of moving their body through repetitive practice of basic training called uchikomi in order to eliminate wasted movement from how they throw someone in sparring type training. And uchikomi also has so many rules, and a trainee should do it as accurately as possible, sticking with basic techniques. All right. So because you know well how you can move your body based on the basic techniques, you can move your body effectively by taking advantage of opponent's movement, opponent's power. So repetitive practice of basic training and basic techniques are very important to standardize your movement and your thought in more effective way, while eliminating your prejudice and wasted movement. So no matter how much masters are aware of their professionalism towards their profession, they don't forget original intention, and they don't forget to practice basic techniques every single day to find new awareness from the basic techniques training in order to improve their skills. So the introduction has become longer, but what I want to say here is any jobs, there are basic rules that have to be kept by workers, right? And people think it is mostly people think it is unreasonably useless in actual scenes in the working place. But we have to think separately logic and practicality. So in any basic training and technique, in any basic techniques, we should pursue perfection on working stance that we can hardly realize that in a busy working place. So because if you don't acquire the basic techniques, you handle and overcome the situation with easy compromises, right? So we end up lowering the quality. We easily end up lowering the quality of work without realizing it. And before we know it, workers' job stance is far from the basic techniques that originally guarantees the quality of work. So that's why we always need actual basic form of work prior to completing one task with stable quality. So if you practice basic techniques repetitively, so many advantages like effectivity and efficiency and a positive mood and politeness and something and so on comes out gradually. Well, when you do your work, right? So the objective to learn the basic concept of work with so many strict rules repetitively is to get skills to handle any kinds of situation with substantial grounds, to deal with any problems effectively, and minimize wasted movement that causes working place to fall into troubles.